without crushing everything. Yeah, that works. Okay, now this is just a fancy one-button projector. Yeah. Next up.
UNF.
Yeah, so at conventions like Anthropology Association, and we have like more than 100 schools. So chances are, if you go to a big enough university or even community college, there is a club there. Yeah, especially if you're in the US. And now we can get to the, I guess, just the first section of it's more of a hybrid of a introduction of what a furry club does and what we've been able to achieve. Yeah. Well, first off will be the backbone of a club, which is general meetings. These are usually what the university defines as the periodic meeting of a club, but that does not mean it cannot be fun. Here we see, I think, Nitropolitan, the Society of Furries at Tech, doing a persona design workshop. Yeah, next up would be, if you want to take it to the next level, you'll teach a class in persona design. This actually started as a joke at UC Berkeley, but just recently we got approved to teach a class on the furry vendor. Yeah, just. And moving on, speaking of classes, who here has been to one of Gail Frostbane or my fursuiting 101s? Yeah? Okay, a few of you. So, at most big fur cons, there are fursuiting panels on how to fursuit, and one thing that quite a few of the clubs have been doing would be to translate that into a campus context. So if you have enough fursuiters, this would be a really fun activity. And it's like organized chaos. The more chaotic, the more excuse you have to interact with fursuiters. Yeah. And this was a photo shoot we did where we pretended this was a CS department, and people bought it. One of them actually looked a lot like one of our professors in CS, and there were some rumors going around. But it might not entirely be false. Later on in one of the CS class that professor teaches, someone realized that one of the tabs open was our Twitter account, Berkeley's Twitter account. Browsing free Twitter classes, next level.
Wow.
Yeah, but speaking of fursuiting, here we see a sorted example of public fursuiting, either with a local group or just on campus. Yeah, and since there's no microphone to pass around, if any clubs here at any time would like to add any information, feel free to just cut in. Yeah, sorry about the mix-up with the AV system. This is a big con checkup drop.
A great place to get public shooting as well is like your club or your campus's club fair. Like at UCLA, we try to get as many LA furries as we can onto the campus. So we had like 11 this last club fair, and they just roam around and we'll get attention for your club.
Yeah, but this like fursuiting is a visible but arguably small part of the fandom. As you can see around you, maybe only 10 to 20% of people have fursuits. So they're really alternatives that doesn't involve a fursuit. And one thing that some clubs would love to do, and some better than the others, I guess, judging by the abundance of flute art, is art jams. Yeah, it can also be a periodic activity, and a lot of times as your club grows, you will have an assortment of artists from inexperience to like, how the heck are you not already a full-time artist level? And a lot of times the more experienced one can teach the less experienced one, and you get a cycle of basically an artist panel that self-improves.
Yeah, and these two art pieces are from a Discord challenge to draw our mascot. So that's a really good idea to have all of your members draw your mascot.
One second. Whatever. Is it working? There you go. No? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, another thing that completely does not need first will be picnics. If your university is in a place where at least some time of the year the weather outside is not trying to kill you, a picnic would be great. Yeah, here we see examples of, I think, Fraser Berkeley doing a picnic in the Bay Area, Fauna doing some local picnic, and like hybrid fursuit repair workshop, and Knights of Nepal also picnicking in the shade because nobody wants to get cold.
At UCF, we have an arboretum and a lot of outside spaces, and we usually will bring a bunch of outer things like badminton and things like that, and everybody can eat, fursuit. We even have trails that people can go on while they're going on the picnic. And I also noticed that within our community that members will just meet up outside of the club and outside of fursuit on our memory mall, which is a nice open place to go and eat food and vibe.
Yeah, and speaking of outside of the club, I mean, this is a dead giveaway, but hey, go to college, y'all. University is like, for a lot of us the last stage of life before we need to answer to a boss to a 9 to 5 schedule, because as much as your professor can scream that attendance is mandatory, well, we're here. Like it's final exams week for me. I'm here. Yeah, and I would argue that these meetups, mingling with other university students, can make some of the most memorable times. Yeah. So,
Another thing that we do, you can make big sales and you can sell your goods and table at your university. So it's a great way to have a club activity where your club members get together and bake hundreds of cookies or whatever you want. And then it's a great way to also fundraise and raise money for your club, selling it and getting awareness at the same time.
Yeah, no, that is pending on, some universities would have a policy on campus on
Yeah, make sure you follow whatever your campus's policies are to do that.
Yeah, and here's a fun one that crosses, like mingles, crosses the line between like fursuiting and cosplaying, which is go reverse trick-or-treating. Like you would buy candy and get dressed up, and instead of taking candy, you would pass them out. Yeah.
I'll add on to this one. Usually we will have a GBM or a general body meeting on actual Halloween if we can. And after we have our normal meeting where we usually do trivia or fun stuff, then we all go out and reverse trick-or-treat and we pass out candy and we wander our campus on a little parade route showing off our costumes or fursuits. And it's a really, really good way to get out there. And also, it's also a little bit more of a quieter time on campus because people aren't on campus as much. So it's a very positive, not overwhelming environment to go public fursuiting.
Yeah, the other plus is this is usually at nighttime. So if you're in one of the hotter regions of the U.S., this might be one of the few times where your full suiters can trot around campus without getting super beat. Yeah, here on the left we have a phrase at Texas A&M. On the left is Nights of the Fall. But let's say like weather's terrible. Oh yes, where's Trying Tales? You guys have a special.
We do.
Hi, go ahead.
Yes.
You have the floor.
So during fall, we actually hosted an event last year called Halloween. It essentially is like a mini con. We collaborated with a bunch of the other clubs on campus. Usually it's our sister club, which is the Multi-Identity Art Collective. So a bunch of the like art clubs on campus, and we're able to do kind of this mini con in a certain area, which you're probably able to do as well, depending on the size of your club. It's just collaborations. So we had a bunch of vendors lined up on this one walkway, and we essentially had a bunch of events. In one of the ballrooms, we had kind of this area for like performances and things. We had like a dance competition as well. So it's essentially just a very large mini con, and then obviously you're able to do things like this too if you collaborate with a lot of the local furry groups. In this case, we have San Diego furries at our disposal on top of Triton Trails, so that definitely helps as well. And so we took over the King Triton statue here. You know, he's kind of buried in the back somewhere in this photo. Front. He's right there. Never mind.
Next one. I think you guys have food.
Yeah, we have 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is actually an event we're hosting in 2 weeks. This is high tide. We have performers lined up like Russell Buck and a couple of other performers from BBC, which is our DJ club on campus. We have a secret headliner who is actually a UCSD alumni. Your hint that you get for this secret headliner is that they are actually performing at FWA, and they performed last night. I won't tell you what time, but that is our other headliner. We also have Lizzie performing as well on top of Russell Buck and our secret headliner. So that's something to look out to. If you guys want to fly out to California for that, it's awesome. It's a little rave-based event if you're ravers.
Yeah, third slide, right? Oh, never mind. Okay, so back to regularly scheduled programming. Let's say weather's terrible or nothing would work out. A minimalistic activity that we found to really work well would be like an art jam that's based on campus facilities. So drawing on your whiteboards, or if your campus is blackboards, whatever. As long as it's not permanent marker on the walls and it's not against the chalking policy, go on ahead. Yeah, here we see, I think, Floof, or is it? That's UF. Oh, UF, sorry. Drawing on whiteboard with a triple painting, and on the right is the Among Us and a meme votes from Nights of the Fall.
Even for
Last semester, Nights of the Fall had 8 whiteboards in our room.
Even for drawing nights, you can use just paper drawn across tables, and it makes for a really effective drawing night for clubs.
Oh, definitely. Like, for example, Berkeley recently just did one where it's like charcoal drawing. So we got a bunch of the surplus campus newspaper, and we bought some charcoal, and people had a blast just doing everything from like learning the basic lines to like trying to compose AC. Yeah. And moving on, we skip the slide. Yeah, as your club grows and as time goes on, there will be a point at which, say, after multiple leadership transition, the lore will start to build up. There will be memorable events, either at Con or either on campus, and at some point you can start referring back to them for either nostalgia value or just in the case of Knights of the Fall, throw it in as a Kahoot question. Yeah, on the right here actually is an interesting piece of history. UC Berkeley is known for our protests and strikes. This was one of the faculty on campus that joined in on one of these strikes, I think a few years ago. Yeah, they're now a professor, so I guess strikes do work.
Ooh.
Yeah, you.
So we love to go bowling. Fluke has about 2 or 3 bowling events every semester. We have a local bowling place that we go to, and they allow fursuits. Definitely make sure to check with, call ahead to make sure they allow fursuits if you go anywhere off your campus. But it's super fun, tons of pictures. I would highly recommend this as an activity.
Yeah, bowling and polo. Availability, they come hand in hand. Next stop, we have ice skating. You want to talk about?
For us in California, this is a novelty. I know a lot of you may be very familiar with snow, but one great thing to do is you don't have to stay on your campus. You can organize trips to other areas. So we went to our local ice rink and skated where the LA Canes practice, and we had an event where we went out and skated on there. It's also a great way for your suitors to get out because it's cold, so they're not cooking in their suits, and it's a nice way to go do something with your club.
Yeah, and where it stopped? You guys specifically requested this slide be added. Yeah. Has this become an annual tradition? We know when this happened.
You gotta do it again. This was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, do it again. Yeah, so at a certain point, this is almost universal. The free clubs will start getting compared to the mascot costume. Like if your first students will start getting compared to the mascot costume of your school's mascot, and whatever dynamic you want to play on it, that's fine. In this case, I think someone was just harassing the mascots on game day. In our case, our mascots, Oski, people keep telling us, asking us 2 things. 1, is Oski a furry? And 2, can you guys make a better Oski costume? Because the current one is an abomination that drinks out of the mouth. Or the eyes. Yeah, that's how we win against Stanford. We just scare their players.
Okay.
The trophy is an axe. Who do you think is always going to win?
It's a good point.
Yeah. Though moving on, these are some of the definitely more photogenic opportunities. Is at certain times in the school year, either during graduation season or on open house day, during club fair times, there will be an amazing opportunity to go public shooting in the form of doing a campus walk or a campus photo shoot. So here we have one. Don't scare me like this. Here we have one of the campus walks on Cal Day. So the open house referred to at Berkeley on the left and right, and then in the center, right will be some photo shoot. In the center, I believe, is grad photos from Fluke, right?
Fursuit graduation photos go so hard.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, who here is graduating either this semester or a ±1 semester? Congrats!
Quickly want to add to the campus walk, so you can also pair this with finals week. At UNF, we did finals week, and we had a meeting to write positive messages and then walked around campus handing them out during finals.
Yeah, and this is a recent one we added. Is we're starting to realize the universities are a lot more recently susceptible to finding with furry clubs being part of their publicity, and chances are if your university has a contingent at a local pride parade, join them. And if they don't join, just go to a local pride parade anyway. On the left here, we have Fraser Berkeley walking in the annual Oakland Pride Parade. Oakland Pride Parade. On the right, we have, I think it's Fraser Berkeley and Fraser Stanford at the San Francisco Pride Parade, the gigantic one. That was absolutely amazing. And then the bottom right one will be Fauna at the local pride parade with the UARC chapter of the Pride, the Pride Club. Yeah. So that wraps up the section on what we've been able to achieve as the clubs here, what we should be proud of. But how do you get the word out. You know, you want to start a club. How do you get the word out? You won't just start magically, you know, go into a classroom of all the furries that you know is on the campus. And this is where some of the things we're going to talk about comes in. First of all, the cheapest way is flyers, either digital or physical. If you have artists on even a skeleton team or a skeleton crew, or if you don't, actually, we have templates. There's a QR code at the end of it. Nonetheless, flyers can be a really cost-effective way of both generating conversations, because some of these have definitely gone viral before, and just people will see it if you leave it in the hallway as they're waiting for class. Yeah. Or memes. Why not? Like, viral marketing is really powerful. Some of the best posts on some of our social media accounts have simply just been mindless shit posts. Like, we would think of a funny idea in 5 minutes and boom, 1,000 likes versus like a well thought out art piece. I'm sure you guys can relate. Yeah. Then why not combine those two together? Like, print out a meme. Yeah, and this is where some of the clubs have definitely been doing. The bird. Yeah, so here we have a UT Dallas in all caps to join. In fact, their entire club is kind of based on a meme where their club name is Furries, but backwards. I think part of the conversation was the university didn't want a furry club on campus, so this is not a furry club. It's whatever that's pronounced. Sure. Yeah. In the middle would be this is almost a tradition. So on freshman orientation weekend, the midnight before the first night of the freshmen in the dorm, a bunch of us will go around campus, go around the dorms, plaster these "Have you seen him?" posters around campus with like a take one, and it just says, "Oh well, what's this?" instead of a number on there. And next morning, the freshmen wake up and they get confused. Yeah, and this is just a meme, but y'all have done. Yeah, just a funny guy, just a little guy. And I guess also things that one way would just be puke things at cons. Yeah, so this is more of marketing to the fan. When you are getting the word out about a club, there are usually two sets of target audience. One will be the students at your school, either furry or not. The others would be the furries on the internet, because publicity with either group could really help a group take off. Publicity within the school can either convert students into furries, or just the furries at school will naturally learn about it. Publicity outside of the school, what we've seen is a lot of times, let's say a post from Furries at Berkeley goes viral, people would then tell their furry friends who they know are at Berkeley, or simply their friends who they know are at that school, and tell them about this. Yeah, so in this case, throwing random stuff at cons is definitely a way to get the word out to the wider furry community. So just note that if you are planning on doing this here, please don't put anything on the walls. Yeah, plaster them anywhere else other than, I guess, walls and ceilings. Floor and chairs and stuff is fine. Yeah, or merch-wise, if you want to get like slightly more expensive than the most basic, we can have buttons. Is UTD here? You want to talk about your buttons? Okay, not here. For fraternity. Oh, okay, also not here. Don't worry, it's buttons. I believe everyone has seen buttons. There could either be, you can either like professionally order some buttons to get them printed in class, or a lot of times either your campus would have, or it's really cheap to get a crimp that would simply make buttons out of paper. Yeah, and something much more easier to mass produce and just a spam IRL.
If you know, you know. Oh my God, he has one.
We have thousands.
Yeah, we have hundreds. I'll take two.
Yeah, so stickers. This is arguably the single most successful article of advertisement because it is versatile. You want to give it out at cons, this works. You want to throw it out at cons, this works. You want to flash it on campus. Thanks. Okay, so stickers are arguably the most versatile, especially cost-effective way of getting a word out because they're they can, one, they're art assets. So once you run them, they can be used on other things like flyers. And two is they work, if you're at a con, you can give them out, these stickers work, you can throw them up everywhere, the stickers work. If you're on campus, these can serve as things you give out when you're tabling. And on the back of the stickers, depending on the supplier, you can sometimes get the info to your club printed, and that is super cool because one sticker will now have almost become dual purpose. Yeah, this is an example of Fraser Worthley's club stickers. We have the University of California Bad Dragon stickers. We have the AAA logo stickers, and then we have our 3 mascots. We actually have a bit of every design here, so afterwards in the mingling period before our photographer arrives approximately, I think 4:45, feel free to come up here, ask questions, and take some. Yeah. And one way to combine distribution of a lot of these, we through tabling. Almost without fault, a university will have a student life entity, and that student life entity will host club fairs. It's simply a part of the university recruitment cycle, and as a university recognized as furry club, it is really nice to be able to table and either show off your flyers or give out stickers or merch. Yeah. Yes.
For Knights of the Fall, back to the merch thing, we have enamel pins, and they may be a little expensive to make, but over time when you sell them, because you buy them in bulk, you would earn that money back for people trying to start up clubs or think about merch. We also have t-shirts. You stand up and showcase the t-shirt. We let our club members design our shirts all the time.
Oh, this is the last one. This is the beach one. We just got another one made though for high tide, so that's awesome. And we also would like to say that for stickers, if you guys want to do it, make it Mimi as all hell because they love that. We have one where our mascot is making out with the school's mascot.
There you go!
Unfortunately, we left those in storage and I forgot to pack them. No. Otherwise, we'll get them out.
Yeah, and I think SOP has like the illegal branding, G-Tech thing, or Tech thing, right? We're not going to see that.
I prefer to work with Georgia Tech on
Loki.
Yeah, so when your club like reach, I would say like a critical point where you know it's gonna financially make sense to order in bulk, a lot of doors open, from pins to shirts to even hoodies. Or
Buy your own button machine, like $200.
Yeah, and then a lot of what is also compatible is like opens up an entire access. You can think of it as a domain expansion will be collaborations. There are either a lot of campus or local or even furry entities that would love to collaborate with a bunch of university firms. Yeah, here I think this was a Puss and Boots movie night that was hosted by SOP in the Pride Alliance on campus. Yeah, and then going clockwise, example of assortment of Fraser Worthley collabs. We've done it with the band, we've done it with the bike party, so that one is a local organization, not a campus one. We've joined on strikes, that's a community organization. We've also done fencing. Yeah, and then you want to talk about Halloween?
Halloween, like I said, so we do collaborations with a lot of other clubs on campus. Our closest club, our sister club, is the Multi-Entity Art Collective. Some of our officers are actually officers for that club as well, so it's very, very joint. And we're able to usually do art events with them, which makes our life 10 times easier, and also vendor fairs and so forth with them too. So that also makes our life easier. And for bigger events like Halloween, where we have a lot more people, we also collaborate with Art Spark, and sometimes we even collaborate with other entities on campus too. We are currently in the process of actually becoming an affiliate organization with our school's LGBTQ resource center. So that's awesome as well. MIAC already has that status too, so that helps us. They also give us infinite printing, so those flyers are awesome as well.
Yeah, like the furry cabal is real. Like the funny story, I've heard there are some clubs on campus that the Constitution says if this club ever were to fail, all funding and equipment goes to the furries.
Oh wow!
Yes.
At UNF, our collaborations are the horror movie club. There's a lot of overlap with them, with us, especially with costume design and everything. And another one, we collabed with Furry Monsters magazine and their card trading cards, and that allows some outreach as well. Even social media works.
And you'd be surprised the type of collaboration like a random furry club would go on.
You get the most random invites to collaborations as well. Like we had one with the Society of Asian Engineers. They were just like, let's make this event and let's call it Wag Your Sase Tails, because Sase is the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers. So we did that. That was an awesome little GBM / hangout we did with them. And then obviously High Tide. is our collaboration with DBC, which is the campus's DJ club, which somehow their headliner, like I said, ended up just also being a furry and a UCSD alumni who performs at conventions, so that just helped to line up awesomely. So you'd be surprised like what clubs you can reach out to, or they even reach out to you to collaborate with them. You just have to be open to that, and it definitely helps with a lot of like the PR.
Yeah, and going back to some of the collaborations that we scored is actually going around the Oilers and just chatting with artists. You see here, this is a certified Golden Bear tag from Mary Mouse. It's a really interesting collab because Mary Mouse usually never takes commissions, but we were able to convince them, as we are a 501c3 nonprofit, to do a piece. And I think, I guess local campus stuff, like campus restaurants and stuff, is also, from time to time, you will get those deals running. Yeah, they're already doing a student discount. They'd definitely be willing to do a special discount for a subset of the student body as well. Yeah.
We actually have membership cards for our members, which they can pay for if they'd like. It's about $10, and what that gives them is offers of about 10 to 15%, depending on what vendor it is on campus. But they get about 10 to 15% off on the restaurants on campus if they collaborate with us, of course. We have to personally reach out and email all of the vendors and ask them if they're willing to do this. But for the most part, because they're already used to other student organizations with these membership cards asking for discounts, they already know what the plan is. And then of course, you can always do fundraisers with these vendors too if you reach out to them. Like we have a Yogurt World on campus, so we always end up asking them. Also because one of the workers there is on board and one of the first years we have on campus, we end up asking them to do fundraisers for us. So the way you would do that is you would host a social at that vendor, and you would also have it be a fundraiser. So that way that the funds that they're using on the social, obviously to get yogurt or wherever the vendor is, also ends up going towards fundraising for your club. And that's really useful for bigger events that need that funding, that don't come out of student funding.
Yeah, now I'm gonna give the crowd 5 guesses as to what the weirdest discount or craziest discount we currently have is. Just wild guess. Guess a company. Staples. No.
Chipola.
Execs cannot guess.
What are we guessing?
Guess the
Weirdest collabs.
weirdest discount that we actually currently have, like the quadruple A.
IBM. Barnes & Noble.
No. No. Okay, it has to do with.
Is it food?
No.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Southwest.
Southwest?
We have 14% off Southwest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you're in the quadruple A survey, if you're an exec channel, you probably already seen the discount notification. But yeah, we still have some discount for the email Thanks. Yeah. So it was a cool discount though, with Southwest shooting themselves in the we don't know how much longer it's gonna last. Yeah, but onto our last section before the open mingling and the photo is well, so how do you start one? We talked about the fun stuff, about what you've done, what can you get the word out, but how do you go from I know a group of furries, so I am a furry to there is a furry club in my school. So for most universities, we've seen this a lot, is the essential components of becoming an RSO, standing for Registered Student Organization, would be a group of willing members or officers. There's usually a minimum number between 2 and 8, depending on the school. The highest we've seen is 50. I think WPI recently had to get 50 signatures. And then the backbone of any club will be a constitution. This is the guiding document of the club about what the club is, who can join, how elections and meetings are done, and how the club will operate. Without this, every single school without fault will want this if you want to get a furry club running. And the other thing we would like to note is that the policy and nomenclature can really differ from school to school. But on the bright side is we have seen so many universities policies. We've compiled your plug and play starter pack. If you are at a school that doesn't have a furry club yet and you're interested, you may scan this QR code to get our starter pack and also join our the University First Discord server. Yeah. And the meme is the meme on the right actually. Cool story is one that we made when Furries at Berkeley got a 501c3, so nonprofit status. And getting nonprofit status, this is a bit of a tangent, is really cool because it opened up some unique collaboration opportunities, or makes certain things cheaper, or you can utilize it in creative ways. For example, Berkeley every year they host like a fundraising blitz where we call it the Big Give. It's basically artists. The club makes an offer to any artist in the fandom, and for the next, from this time to this time, you may offer commissions that are tax deductible, and we will pay for your payment processing fees and not take any cuts. So they make more than usual. And on the flip side will be that clients are able to effectively commission artists and have that be tax deductible. Yeah, so that's the power of, this is far down the line from university recognition, but this is like what can possibly be achieved. I think Triton Tales is also in the process of like...
We're in the process of filing it, and it's a mess. It's a mess, but you figure it out eventually. Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork.
But I guess that's the same QR code. Our photographer, I think, is running late, as classic furries do. But if you're with a club that wasn't exactly featured on here and would like to share any experience, or if you have any questions about anything we talked about or anything we didn't talk about, now would be the time to let us know.
And stickers.
Come out to get some. Yeah. Yes.
Go for it.
Yes, hi.
Hi, what's cool?
Oh, cool. So first of all, hi, my name's Letty. I actually represent University of Maryland.
UMD.
Yes, UMD, squad up. We're actually the biggest furry club in the state of Maryland. Probably the only one here because everybody else couldn't make it. One thing I would like to say is I love to see this. We're up here, up north, we're actually slowly starting to grow to the other universities, so UMBC, Towson, I think we might be hitting Bowie State too, so a lot of the major Maryland universities and slowly getting to DC, I'm personally trying to see if I can start more of a, words are failing me, more of a chapter, because I didn't even know all y'all existed down south. I'm not even from here, I'm from DC. This is not even my hood. So having these connections to all the other schools and getting more connected with all of y'all is amazing. Rep UMD, love y'all, much love.
Yeah. Scan the QR code, join our Discord server. If you're one of the officers, we actually often plan our room blocks and conventions. Yes. More questions. Far table back. Hi, what's cool?
You have to shout it.
I wanted to shout out our organization. We represent, I'm the president, this is our wonderful vice president. We represent furries at GCSU, just a 2-hour drive from here. We started because I talked with you last year, and I got the starter pack from you guys, so round of applause for those guys.
Yeah, congratulations. Welcome back.
I'd like members, we did an art fight over this semester, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes. Hi, I want to shout out my own college. I'm from Illinois State University, the Redfords. We started around 2 years ago. I know some of our members have been in talks with you as well, so we've been able to grow based off of like your guidelines as well. And for picnics, we recently this year did a 3-way collaboration with 2 other universities. We called it the Tri-Tail Picnic, where we all gathered U of I, Illinois State University, and Northern Illinois University. We all got together. It was a really great time. So if you ever have picnics, do it within your own university, and maybe even try other surrounding universities. It was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, hi.
Out of curiosity, anyone here from Oglethorpe University?
What school?
Oglethorpe University?
I know a couple people, I don't know if they're here, but they are from all of the university that walk around.
Yeah, join the Discord. Drop a ping for the GCSU club. They can link you up.
Question over here.
So, we're trying to start something for the first time, and we're not really sure, like, how can we introduce it to the school and everything, and how do we know, like, they'll be okay with it?
What university are you at?
I mean, something like
Shoot, go for it.
University of Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Midwest, okay.
That's definitely possible. And okay, the version of my answer would have been like higher education institutions are usually much more on the like tolerant and liberal side of things, and we have seen maybe minor resistance from certain ones, but from our experience, even with recent circumstances that sort of burning, torching higher education, I would still argue that unless you are at a very small university where the college town is almost non-existent and is directly a very conservative place, or you would probably not have a problem with administration. And this is from experience. For example, I believe some of our clubs in Tennessee has been has been under intense scrutiny from Congress Republicans to the point where there were like personal inquiries addressed to the president of the college. No consequences ever came of the university. The school stood by them. Yes.
Woo!
And yeah. So and also we've had success like giving starter packs to like Christian universities. So part of our starter pack does include an explanation of what we are, and if you want more, we actually have a presentation of like a short, like what's a furry presentation of sorts. Yeah, just scan a QR code and we'll get you hooked up with that. And in the officers channel, you're not the only one with this concern. We've gotten this question a lot, especially in like Florida cons and stuff. If you ask, there'll be a lot of clubs that's gone through the exact same thing, and they can tell you how they were either able to navigate it or realize it was an overestimation of the hostility against us.
Right.
Yeah.
And can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Should we have like some people that we're starting with, or can we just start on our own, just some people join?
I feel like the minimum amount to start is already enough, because once you get university recognition, you can have the ability to say use campus resources to table or to go to recruitment events or flyer on campus. So as long as you have the bare minimum to start, I mean, keep in mind not overworking yourself, that would be terrible. But if you have the bare minimum to keep a skeleton crew running, or say worst case scenario, just simply renew the documents needed to keep the club on the club list, that would actually naturally attract furries. Like a lot of times, at least from my point of view, tabling for furries at Berkeley, a furry club would recruit almost the exact opposite club of every other club on campus, and that's because unlike other clubs that go to someone and say, well, can I interest you in insert club thing here? A lot of times when someone sees their fursuit, it's either they come up to us, it's either, oh my god, I'm a furry, how do I join? Or this is so cool, can I take a photo with you? And then 3 months later, they show up at your GM.
The other thing you can do is, depending on your university, you can start your own social medias and get people to kind of get along with your group that way. And then once you have a small following of people with your social media, you can make a small unofficial club. So then once you have like 10, 20, 30 members, you can make an official club with the school, and you say, hey, we already have these many people who are interested, and that'll kind of get the university to see your point more.
Yeah, definitely. If no one is in a position to set up a club, or you guys miss the club cycle, a lot of times a club can exist as an unofficial group, like a group chat, until it becomes an official club. I think Society Furries at Tech is a perfect example. You guys used to be like a group chat, right? And then it became an official club.
That's how they all start, don't they?
Pretty much.
A little.
Yeah, that's how we start.
More or less. Yeah. Question? Yes.
So building off of that, I go to a small town community college in Kansas. So if a bigger university like this would not be a good idea to start a club, would it not be a good idea at my campus?
I mean, I never say it was a bad idea. I think it would be a good idea on any campus. Do you happen to know if there's the minimum number of people?
I know a handful of other furries.
I would say that is simply enough if you can get a club up. So from the university's point of view, if you have all the documentations in place, which the starter pack provides, if they say no, that is administrative suicide, because there's like federal laws, at least there currently still are federal laws protecting against that type of things. Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah, so unless the Constitution gets tossed out the window, a school cannot simply ignore like whatever title or like whatever civil rights stuff and selectively accept or deny clubs. That would be big trouble from the feds. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. What's cool? Oh. Oh, look at that, you just got here, founding members.
You have a question or just looking for people?
Oh, there you go. You want to? Yeah, go find it.
Question?
We have to leave in like
Sure. What's cool?
Anybody from the University of North Carolina?
we have to leave in 15 to 20 minutes.
More. Go find it.
So if I could-
Charlotte?